Hey, thanks for tagging along and watching my collab with Tiffany at SouthernGalsDesigns. We are doing a You, Me, Same 3 collab where each of us will pick out 3 items, and we're going to do this once a month, the last Saturday of the month. This time was my time, and I picked out a prescription, a piece of, I don't know what that is, like a twine, wired twine, and then a piece of, it's alcohol dyed vellum paper. And I saw a tutorial from Suzanne at Abby and Albit, and I'll include that link in the description as well. Anyhow, so I'm using red rosin paper. It's actually for like flooring or roofing, but it's supposed to be really neat in journals. And for this collab, I just wanted to do a bunch of loose pages and then bind it at the end. So anyhow, I am using just some Decoart's gesso and putting that kind of all over the page. Not really all over, kind of haphazardly, I guess is more like it. And I kind of wanted the paper to kind of peek through. I'm not sure how much I like the paper. It was supposed to be like almost leather-like or something once you got the gesso and layers built on it, but it's neat. Anyhow, so I am taking, and I usually use like found objects to make just some marks in the gesso. I think that's rug gripper, and I had one of those little plastic canvas pieces. So you can kind of see it up close. It leaves just like little subtle marks. And then, I don't know if any of you did scrapbooking or stamping or card making. You probably had one of those rulers that kind of gave paper a deckled edge. So I'm going to use that. And I found this image in a magazine. I can't remember which one, but I liked the black and white better against the, I don't know, the mauve color of the red rosin paper. So I thought I was going to use that deckled edge, and I decided I wanted it more of a ripped edge. And then I'm just making sure that I'm going to be able to bind it and figure out how I want to put her on the page. I'm pretty sure I end up putting it like that. Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use the ruler. And it makes a really neat deckled edge that it's like torn, but it's still where you want it to go. And I was surprised that Amazon still had them. Or someone still sold them. They're still on Amazon. Okay, so I decided to rip that down a little bit more. And then I'm going to use, and somebody tell me how you pronounce this. Is it Uhu or Yuhu? I don't know. The glue stick. I ask all the time, and I never remember to look it up until I'm recording a video, so I don't know. So I'm just getting a good layer on there before I put it on my page, and then I'll take a like an old credit card or gift card to smooth it out to make sure everything's all smooth and even. I don't care if it peels up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't really want any bubbles in the center. And I guess it's a hotel room key. And that's just part of my old craft mat that needed to be replaced, and I still haven't, but. So I thought I was going to use a brush and dry brush some on there, but you know, I'm just kind of partial to a palette knife, so. And I kind of choke up on the, is that the right word? Gosh, it's like baseball. On the palette knife to get like more particular, to get it in smaller spaces. And then kind of hold it back further so it's a little bit more loose and whatever. you want to call it. And here is my old prescription, and then I don't know what that is. I probably got it from a thrift store. Who knows? So now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I know it's too big, and I was thinking I could make like a veil or like a mask, like a masquerade mask. And then I think I looked and I thought that looked like a stitched, like stitching, like on a scarecrow, or kind of like a don't speak type of thing. So I'm just adding a little bit more gesso just to kind of bring the page in a little bit. And I am drying in between. I just didn't think you guys wanted to see that. So I just wanted to add a little bit of the prescription kind of on her. I mean, I had an idea of what I was going to do with the other side, but this side I just to kind of break things up and incorporate it somewhere else. And I wanted to add that on the edge there. And then I'm going to take a couple more of those pieces that I used for the mouth, or that I'm going to use for the mouth, and just make it almost like something that I can stitch through. So I had a little bit of an idea what I wanted to do, but I wasn't 100% sure. I knew I was going to use an image, so I made sure I found an image. And then the rest, I just kind of decided to wing it. Now I wanted to include like a little bit bigger piece of that vellum paper so that it kind of showed through on the other side. And then I'm just gonna, I took it over to the sewing machine and sewed it right onto the paper. That's part of the reason why I wanted loose pages, so that I could take it to the sewing machine and sew on it and not have to fuss in a journal. So that's just a paper punch, and I'm just going through the same holes that were there, and then I'm going to use those little pieces that I had cut out. Now there is wire in them, so they kind of twist tie. And I didn't have the hole quite big enough, so I made it a little bit bigger. And then I just pulled it through and kind of like a bread twist tie, just twisted it. And I'm going to do the same with the other side and twist it and then just cut it down so it kind of stays on the page. So then I'm trying to decide what to do next, and I thought it needed just like a little piece of vellum. And when I used the glue stick, it kind of like wrinkled and warped a little bit, and I liked that. I kind of like that. And then I thought maybe I'll put that underneath the faux stitching too. Nope, I wanted to go back to that piece. I don't know why I did that. As Tiffany says, I'm kind of auditioning pieces, I guess. I don't really have that good of a system, though, to think of it as auditioning. I'm not that put together. So then I'm going to take, I have this, Tiffany has one too. It's an embroidery book, and I think she calls hers Marge. I have no idea. I know some old lady had mine because there's, you know, it looks like it's a million years old. Anyhow, I'm looking for some black embroidery thread, and it looks like she had every color in the rainbow but black, so it's kind of like a really dark navy blue that I ended up that I ended up using. Yeah, it's really crusty and gross. I probably should change the binder. So I thought that I would take in between the what looks like stitching or fence post and attach the twine stuff to the vellum. So I just took it off screen and stitched it. And then I just cut the ends off, and I end up using matte gel medium to adhere it. And it kind of, that wrinkled even like better than the glue stick. So I liked that. Hopefully you can see it in the end pictures. Vellum's pretty cool. I need to use it more often. So there she is so far, and I need to add some color to it, and well, no, I guess I'm gonna try and figure out some more vellum. I'm gonna put that down first. And then I'm going to take some modeling paste just to give it a little bit more texture. That's just some homemade modeling paste. I do have a video for it if you are so inclined. And then it's one of those, I think it's resin, like a resin stamp. It doesn't work really well like on paper, but it works so good in modeling paste and gesso, and it leaves kind of like just more texture. And the reason why I like to put texture into the modeling paste and the gesso is when you do add like watercolor or acrylics, like watered down acrylics, they kind of stick in the little recesses and grooves. So you get different colors, different variation. That is a piece of canvas that I dyed with some natural dyes and ripped, and then I just sewed that up to where the prescription is, and I took that off screen and did that real quick and added it. And now I've got some Lindy's Magicals. Lindy Stamp, I think it used to be Lindy Stamp Gang, now it's just Lindy's. Anyhow, the colors I used were Blazing Black, Pretty in Pink Pink, Midnight Rendezvous, and then I pulled out Bodacious Blush, but I never used it. And if you haven't used these, I know they have flat colors too, but these have like a sparkle to them, an iridescence, so when the light hits it, you know, there's different colors. And then I'm seeing if I want to put another piece of the dyed canvas on the bottom and where it's going to go. So I take this and I add it, and then I'm just adding some water so that it kind of skips and drips. And then just some little splatters. And then I decided to give her like just a little bit of pink cheeks. And I don't know if I would do that again or not, but hey, I did it. So, you know, what are you going to do? You live with it and learn from your trial and errors. I think I just wanted to bring the pink around the page a little bit more, and I think had I thought about it, I probably would have added another color, or I'm not sure. I probably would have added another color. But I kind of just stuck with some basics. and let the 3 pieces that I picked out kind of do the work. So there, I'm going to show you the colors that I used, but I will have a link. I will have them listed in the description as well. So now I'm just going to grab some Tim Holtz Snarky stickers. And the one that I chose says, "I try to be a nice person, but sometimes my mouth doesn't cooperate." I thought that went well with her stitched mouth. And then I took that other piece of dyed fabric and stitched that along the bottom. You can kind of see it there. And then I'm going to take some more modeling paste and just put it on top of that dyed canvas a little bit, just to kind of, I don't know, grunge it up a little bit more, I guess. So now I'm doing it. Got a little ahead of myself. But anyhow, so hopefully you've all seen Tiffany's. If not, head over and check out what she made with those 3 pieces. And let me know what you guys think. Would love if you subscribed, comment, liked. If you have any questions or anything at all, let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.